All right, welcome to the Southeast Region weekly call. I trust that everyone has had a wonderful summer. As you know, this is winding down. This is crunch time. This is really what the movement is about now. And we're seeing it firsthand. And this is such an opportunity for us to all bring out our experience and different things that we're going through so that we can properly be available as a region to all the other states that are getting hit, like Texas and different things like that with this flooding and all the natural disasters, as well as the economic crunches that are happening and more to come. But as a kingdom believer, we are not to panic. We're not to stress none of that. We're to stay focused on the mission and what God has got us doing, but yet be able to be empowered and informed and educated to do what needs to be done. Ms. Lovelace, can you do a quick roll call, and then we will get right back to business?
Oh, yes. My name is Ro Lovelace. I am the Southeast Regional Administrator for the Southeast Region. And I ask them please acknowledge who they are and where they're from. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, my name is Lawrence L. Freeman Jr. I'm from Augusta, Georgia. I am the Regional Implementation Administrator, and also I am the State of Georgia Rep and Black Wall Street, Augusta, founder and president.
Okay, this is Shelton Brown, State Director for North Carolina, founder and creator of Black Wall Street Charlotte, and I represent Charlotte, North Carolina, State of North Carolina. This is Shelton Brown.
I have one more on their line.
I am Anthony Williams. I am the Vice Director of the Southeast Region out of Pensacola, Florida. I am the owner of Deeper Inc., which is Dream Plan Explorer, and we're Pink Incorporated, which is a nonprofit for youth, and also Mending Hands Healthcare, where we're a provider for those with disabilities.
Awesome.
Pastor Deterville,
I got you. Thank you, Ms. Lovelace. I am Pastor Evelyn Deterville, Southeast Regional Director for Black Wall Street, also the founder and executive director for Extra Mile Club Straight Up. And I bring you greetings, love, peace, and joy. I do want to ask State Director Brown, do you have any near future plans of opening up your call so that we can start to get on your call for North Carolina and connect?
Yes, I do. I plan to start opening up our calls in the very, very near future. Hopefully by August, be ready to do so.
Do you have a day? Do you have a day in mind? A weekday?
I'm not sure, like what days, because I don't want it to interfere with the other calls. So I got to figure out what day that would be.
Mr. Freeman, have you picked a day yet for Augusta?
I think you're on mute. Mr. Freeman, you're on mute.
Pardon me, I'm sorry about that, y'all. No, I'm still soul searching, see if I want to go with free conference call or do the Zoom.
Okay, so have you picked a day in mind? Right now, we have, for nighttime, we have Thursdays locked in for Florida. We have Wednesdays locked in for us. In terms of the other nights, there are none that are locked in. So if there was something you had in mind, State Director Brown and State Director Freeman.
What about Monday nights? What about Monday nights?
Okay, so Mondays.
And I may do Tuesday nights may work good for me.
Okay, Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then usually when you gentlemen do nights, both of you are Eastern, I'm assuming. What time would be good for you?
I would guess the same time that we do this one, maybe like 8:30.
They do it top of the hour. I just chose a half an hour to give people time because, that just it's like a different flow. But
okay. So I guess 8 o'clock would be fine.
Okay, 8 p.m. So that's 7:30.
Yes,
that's 7 o'clock Central, 8 p.m. Okay, Eastern.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeman?
I would go the same. Get people chance enough to get in from work like we do, and
Okay. So would you like half hour or on the hour?
On the hour, half hour.
Okay, so 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, Miss Lovelace, is what I'm hearing. Eastern. And then for South Carolina, it's 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And
North Carolina.
I'm sorry, North Carolina. She's on my mind because she had a major surgery, South Carolina state director, and so we need to try to look up her information, guys, and at different times, not all at once, reach out to her. But Dr. Carter said that she had went through major surgery. I don't know if anybody knows anything about it.
No, I didn't know anything about it. I tried to reach out. I tried to find her contact information so I could reach out to her a couple months ago, but I need to figure out how to get her contact information since she's right here beside me.
Well, who are you talking about?
State director for South Carolina. I went on the regular website, and that's how I got her number, and she answered.
Okay.
So,
I get that number then. Okay.
Yeah, that number is still valid because that's how I got you as well.
Okay then.
Okay, and Miss Lovelace, these two, and for the Tuesday one, Miss Lovelace, can you put down tentative in August? Mr. Freeman, I think free conference call is a good start because once again, you're not worrying about cutting off, and you like to talk, brother, so you need something that's going to give you some time. So if you do a Zoom, they're going to cut you off.
How do I go about doing that?
I will show you, and I will teach you after the call. But it's in terms of needing to talk and not have to get kicked off. You still want to respect people's time, but in terms of it is just embarrassing as a state director to be cut off. And right now, we're not trying to make Black Wall Street an extra expense. So we're trying to make sure that we can do this without pulling the pockets and just do what we do as directors and to reach the people. Okay, so I will tell you about free conference call. And Ms. Lovelace, we're going to put him down for free conference call with training. And then when we're finished, can you email that to the administration, which is to Dr. Carter, and just let him know that this is what we discussed, because these were the two tasks. These were the two tasks that he asked me to follow up on with both states. Okay. So go ahead, Ms. Lovelace.
As far as Mr. Brown, are you doing Zoom or are you going to do the free conference call? Do you know?
I'll probably do Zoom. I have a Zoom account.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good question. Okay, and so this way he'll know that it's coming in. And then when the state director for Florida gets in, he can update us on his status. But Sister Raheem is trying to get the planning started. Really, it's all in her head, and I don't know. Miss Lovelace, was you on the call with me when we talked? And she had it out. She had the outline. It is such a passion and vision that haven't come to pass yet, but she had it detailed. And all we have to do is just basically allow her to get on and guide us and train us. And then, State Director, this is the strategy that we're going to need for this Trail of Tears that's to launch next year this time. And it starts in the state of Florida, and then, she'll tell us how it goes, where the trail goes and everything. And so it's a huge ordeal, and this is why we have to start now. So I just wanted to put that out there because whenever she gets on, that's going to take some time.
And when is she going to be getting on?
She tried to get on last week, but there was a confusion in the time. She went to the top of the hour. We was on a half hour, and then I was done by, a half hour after that because I was just on there by myself. So I called her personally before this call, and I didn't get an answer. But just know that when she does try to get and plug in with us, then her calls are on Sunday, as a matter of fact. If any Sundays at 6 o'clock, that's Central Standard Time, if you guys can plug into her Zoom, then this will help us a lot because she's faithful to her 6 o'clock Zoom, and just let her know what state you're from, and she will begin to continue to talk about it if she can't get to ours. But hers is every Sunday at 6 o'clock. For Tulsa.
Okay.
All right. So, State Director Brown, I do want you to squeeze in some more of strategic planning and also connect it with how serious this is with this administration and the cuts, sir. I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. I do want to, and that was one thing that I want to make sure I do get, is the printouts to email to you, state regional director, and then you can disseminate that out to each of the members in the region. I know with some of the things that we've been discussing amongst ourselves with some of the government work that we're doing is from a strategic standpoint. When I would think of in terms of what is important, what is vital, is a lot of people are talking about how unprepared the United States is to what's going on in the administration. So there's been some talk about, it was laid out in front of everybody. Everybody kind of knew what was coming, but I don't think everybody took it seriously. So from a strategic standpoint, I was talking to a group a couple of weeks ago about taking the emotion out of it and really focusing on being strategic, the strategy of it. The word around is that they feel like, especially in our community, they feel like that we're very emotional people, that we're very reactive and not proactive. So I would want to present that as far as being strategic, that we focus on, just the seriousness of what we're dealing with. This administration, those that are associated with it, those that are friendly to this administration. It's not just about the immigrants or the Latinas or the Haitians or anything like that. It's about anybody that doesn't look like them or doesn't identify as them. So for what we need to do as Black Wall Street is to create those policies in place that will help to just get everybody on the same page of preparedness and be proactive in terms of what we want to do and how we move as an organization. That's one thing that I'm seeing a lot of. One thing that is kind of very frustrating, even with me working on the inside, when I see paperwork, when I see documents, when I see organizations that look like us that are trying to move throughout the system, a lot of times they're just not prepared. So we definitely would want to do, even for the nonprofits that are within the group, or those that are working with Black Wall Street, is that we create some type of policy or dialogue that will afford us the opportunity to become prepared, to plan ahead, to be proactive. Because that's a lot of what we're doing here with Black Wall Street Charlotte, is that we're really focusing a lot on the groundwork of Black Wall Street because we really want to create that foundation that we can build on. So we try to remove the emotion of it. We're angry, we're upset, we're frustrated. We don't really know what's going on. But at the end of the day, we have to focus on being strategic in how we move and not based on the emotion of what we're feeling. So that's kind of my biggest thing that I would say tonight from a strategic standpoint. And we want to talk about it even more on different categories each time we meet. And that's one thing that I'm really going to put on my list to make sure that I focus on, really concentrating on, is to get this outline to the group. I think it's something that we can all review and speak on each time that we meet or that we have our meetings, because I think that from a Black Wall Street standpoint, I like what we're doing with our region. I love our calls. I love the idea of strategy, and I feel like we have a great leader in our state regional director because you're focusing on, okay, let's figure out the strategy. So I think that's going to be a real big,
Florida State Director.
Okay, I think that's going to be great as far as strategy, because I'm really big on that. So I will say, just to reiterate, really the biggest thing is being prepared, being proactive. That's one of the greatest tenets of strategy, is being proactive and not being reactive to what someone is bringing to us. Let's try our best to be prepared, or to work towards that preparedness, so that we can be as proactive as possible in how we do. So that's all I have right now. I don't want to go into a whole diatribe and take up most of our time on the call, but I do want to, our next call is to be prepared with the outline for the group. So I'll try to get that over to you, State Regional Director, so that you can have that in an earlier time frame where you can pass that information out to everybody.
Okay, and thank you so much for that outline and that briefing. What I do want to say, and welcome aboard, State Director of Florida, Mr. Reed. I know you said you were going to be driving, but it's nice to hear you aboard. But you just finished hearing the voice of State Director Brown from North Carolina, and he was giving us some insight to how this Southeast region is focusing on strategic planning. And we're on a series of trainings with State Director Brown in terms of how we as a region come together, all of our states, and basically strategize. Now, State Director Brown, I will say, you said it like 3 times, and I had to circle the word emotion. We have to take the emotion out of it. Now, we are emotional folk, though, so for those that don't understand what we got to do to take it out, like one of the things that I'm going to do is use my AI assistant, and I'm going to go on ChatGPT because he understands me. He knows how I think, what I do, and I'm going to say, give me some examples, ChatGPT, how I can take the emotions out of it and be reactive and not proactive in XYZ. And that's all you have to do, is just let the AI terminology and how you word it, let it work for you. And so I will be doing my research on that. But for those of us that's been on the Black Wall Street calls, back last year, when Nathan Daly came aboard and they created the control regeneration model, that they called it the CRM24. He was trying to get us ready for exactly what State Director Brown said about being in a position where we understood what procurements meant. We understood all of that terminology, so that when we submit any type of RFPs or bids for any funding, we are not overlooked because of lack of knowledge. And he worked with us all year last year about that, even all of us that was able to submit our executive summaries so that he can look them over and stuff like that, so that whoever was chosen to be elected for this administration, it didn't matter which one got in, we would still be in prepared. And so now it's coming to pass, and as State Director Brown has said, and Mr. Williams, you can attest to that as well about last year and how they was getting us ready. And now, as State Director Brown is saying, he is saying exactly what Mr. Daly, who works in Washington, was trying to get us ready for. So we're not going to be reactive, because we were proactive. We were planning this and strategizing. But I think that the emotion is hitting in for me is because now it's coming to effect. For example, the small town I live in, which is Century, Florida. For those that know, I already told them, this town was already moved out, the high school, the middle school, and the elementary school. The only thing we had in this town left is the college, which is an outlet to Pensacola State, and a Head Start. Well, as of Friday, we no longer now have a Head Start. So the only thing that's left in our town now is a college, which is a satellite chapter. It's not even called a center because it's too small, but it only has welding class in it, and that's where I work. And basically, there is this 50-year plan that was way before me that was some of the congressmen back then tried to tell us in Pensacola how they were trying to expand up north, rural area, and make the Pensacola the whole, they were expanding Pensacola from where it is now all the way out to Cantonment, Molino, up to Century. And if you don't think it's happening, and if you take a drive down 29, you will see all the new rural houses coming up, the subdivisions coming up. Now they done took out all the education system in the town of Century. These children have to be bused out at least 20 miles to get to a school. And if the parents miss the bus, guess what? If they don't have transportation, the kids don't go to school. The absentee rate for Escambia County schools is high because they're not getting out. And so it's a ripple effect that is hitting the smaller class first. It's not going to be like, oh, it's going to hit the rich and go down. No, it's hitting the smaller class now, to where the budget did not allow that Head Start to remain open. And so their last day is the 18th, which is this Friday. And it had 25 parents that was bringing their kids there, and told them they can drive down to Molino, which is another 21 miles from here, to participate in one of their other satellite programs. Now, just like he said, State Director Brown said, I'm not going to be reactive. I mean, he said to be reactive, not proactive. So I'm not being proactive. When I moved to this town 2 years ago, I came with the mission of trying to put some type of school. But here's the opportunity for Black Wall Street. Now there could be Black Wall Street charter schools everywhere. Everywhere. And it has to be strategically funded to where, like, a lot of these programs now, even in y'all states, they're on hold. The funding is frozen. And so they don't know what they're going to do, what their next decision is. Even our early learning child care system here in Pensacola, it's desperate for child care centers, because now they're forcing them, they're passing it all to the workforce to take it over. When the Department of Ed is closing, they're pushing it to the workforce department, basically to make the people work for it now. And so am I making this up, State Director Brown? I think I lost him. But I see him. He's still on.
No, you're not.
No, I was
Okay.
on mute. I'm sorry.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you're not making it up.
So
not even close.
we have to be reactive and not proactive. And I was taking notes as he was talking, because Mr. Williams, Vice Regional Williams, do you remember last year when those Monday calls, Nathan Daly was trying to get us ready for this.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He definitely stated that it was coming. It was a trickle down effect.
And it didn't matter if our girl got in or Trump got in. We were already, as State Director Brown was saying, if we listened and we followed up on those Monday calls at 3 o'clock, now they got Control Regeneration 25, because now he was supposed to just do it last year, but because of it being so much, he stayed, and he's still with us. And now it's number 25. And basically, he's doing exactly what State Director Brown is doing. They're strategizing. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to turn the floor over to you guys, is the big, beautiful bill. That's all I got to say. It's 800 and something pages. Now, the secret part, Vice Regional Williams, this one's going to affect you with your teams, because there's a section in there that deals with financial aid, that deals with student loans. And two or three Mondays ago, Mr. Daly talked about it on the Monday 3 o'clock call. So I pulled up the big, beautiful bill, just like he said. As he was talking, I was pulling it up on another screen. And I was not about to print no 800 and something pages, but he specifically wanted us to pay attention to the student loans. And he also wanted us to pay attention to Medicare. So with the student loans, Mr. Williams, I need you to Google that big, beautiful bill and just go to the section where they talk about the student loans. Because if the youth are not enrolled in college, in any type of college course, and are already in the system for their loans, next year, this time, it's going to be a harder qualification to get in. I'm not playing with you. And for those that are in repayment stages, as of August, they're going to start coming after them. And, I mean, even all of us that have student loans, they're going to garnish our wages and all of that. And if we don't have no agreement already with them that we're going to give them at least $10, then they're going to come at us, and you're just going to see your paychecks hit. So that's starting in next month. So look at the big, beautiful bill and look under the student loan part, because it affects us that has loans lingering from when we went to college, and it's going to hurt the young people, which Vice Regional Williams works with the teens going into college and things, and it's going to affect them. So I need you guys to pay attention to that. All right? If anybody has a time to jump in and share your 2 cents, I now turn it over to you. Just don't everybody do it at once. Ms. Lovelace, call someone out, and then we'll let them have 5 or 10 minutes to talk, and then we'll call the next state.
Okay. Let me ask you that. I thought, Mr. Brown, I thought he said we have to be more proactive and not reactive. Is that not right?
That's what I said.
Yes. I wrote reactive, okay, not proactive. So reverse it.
No, ma'am. I said yes. We need to be proactive and not reactive.
Okay, so let me reverse it. See that? That was my emotions getting in there.
That's fine.
Okay, not reactive. Thank you, Ms. Lovelace. Okay, I stand corrected. And then I want the Vice Regional to jump in, and then we're going to have our 3 states address us.
Okay. So I definitely want to piggyback on the emotion side. One of the things that I was taught by a mentor is the word temperance. And it's something that, as explained to me, that as a black man, I was going to have to learn how to use that, not only for myself, but also for my family in order to protect them. So when we talk about emotions, the word temperance is immediately jumped up, which is the mental ability to overrule emotions. And as a man, if I'm going to protect my family, I can't react out of emotion. And this is that time now. I don't have time. And I talk to my kids about this. You know, I have the 12-year-old son, and I have a 15-year-old son who's actually traveling in Europe right now. And I had to explain to him that you're in a place that I can't protect you. God is the only person whose name matters or where you are. So you have to be able to humble yourself and move accordingly. and this is what's going to save our lives. So in this time, we have to be able to remove that emotion and focus on what needs to be done. We can complain, we can sit back and talk about what it used to be, but none of that is going to help our situation right now. Right now, it has to be a focus of where do we go from here and how do we get there. So that's definitely one of the things that, and I appreciate you bringing that big bill to my attention because I haven't been thinking about that. So that's going to be my homework for tonight, is to deep dive into that a little bit more because, there are kids that's going to be going and that have dreams and aspirations of college. And we need to let them know what to expect before someone tells them different and it causes them to not want to do it anymore or to feel like, oh, well, it's too high or I can't. So we don't want them discouraged. There's a loophole in everything that's created. And in order for us to be on the same playing field as everyone else, we have to find these loopholes so that our kids can continue to prosper and grow along with everyone else. So definitely remove the emotion. We have this. Our ancestors have done it for so long. They have been through the worst of the worst, and we can't just let it go because we're emotional. So that word emotion is one that I've added to my summer of focuses. And I turn it back over to Ms. Lovelace.
All right. Mr. Freeman from Augusta, can we hear from?
Well, thank you, Ms. Lovelace. Greetings, everyone. Director Deterville and other folks on the line. Well, I would like to say that I be asking people the land of the free. Who is the land of the free? Because are we free? You got to ask yourself, are we free? We supposed to be we the people, we in the United States of America, the land of the free. And it's like, back to you, Director Brown. I've been heard about this because my team and because I be going to the state of Georgia, and state of Georgia represented Lynn Gladney and Gloria Frazier way before they stopped this. About the funding, everything is being closed. They told this when it came across their desk. So it gave us homework and time enough to get people's right. And not only that, the student loans. Myself, when I graduated, I got a student loan for forgiveness. So a couple of years around, when I went to the bank, the SRP Federal Credit Union, they saw that I had a student loan for forgiveness. That's how I was able to open up a banking account with them. So here, fast forward years down the line, come up to now. Tell me, y'all, why am I getting a letter from the educational department talking about money for student loans? So if they reneging on their words, and not only that, it was just in here today. I was doing a transportation. Don't y'all know that it's real with food stamps? It is real with single parents, like with transportation and stuff. People's not getting the insurance they need, and they're dropping stuff. And not just yesterday, state of Georgia, not state of Georgia, but the state came in and shut a transportation service down. One of the biggest. James Brown daughter, Deanna Brown, and her husband, they came and closed them down. And not only that, let's talk about the floods. All right. How in the world a flood gonna come through the New York subway? Is it ripples right there? I mean, it's something going on in the world. That's why we need to roll up our sleeves and take back what the devil stole. Because, see, we were the first black Republicans. And then they switched us and turned us with the donkeys and put an ass. Excuse my French. But that's what a donkey is, right? So they want to see that we had something good, but now they want to say, we're going to take from them. But that's all I got to say. We just need to try to do better, and let's go and take back and roll up our sleeves and put on them boots. Like they say, boots on the ground. Now, we ain't putting boots on the ground. We rolling up them sleeves and do like grandmama and them used to do and strike that fist with a mean blow. And that's all I have to say. I'm turning it back over to y'all. Love, I'm going to call you Pastor Lovelace.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Next, we'll have Mr. Reed from Florida.
Are you on mute?
Greetings, everyone. My name is Jerry Reed Jr., the Florida State Director. We have had some of the effects. They just closed down one of the schools, or one of the elementary schools in the area, Ponciana Park Elementary. It was opened in 1955. It's like a historic school around. It's been around for 70. If the school was open next year, it would have been the 70th year of the school. It would have been the 70th school year, but they closed it down this summer. So we have the effects of that in Liberty City also. One of the things I've been working on is that, they're cutting the funding for the school, and they're also putting a work requirement on public assistance, right? So I've been working with the school board and working with public housing to make, let's say if you donate food to the public school system, that would satisfy the work credit. Now hear me out. Let's say if you get food stamps, right? And you donate a portion of your food stamps or whatever food you get, if you donate it to the school, that would satisfy your work credit. That's solving down here. That would be solving two problems at one time, because you got a lot of kids that go without while they at school, and also they're gonna have a new work requirement that needs to be fulfilled. So down here, that's something I'm working on. I'm trying to bounce it off as many people as possible, how to make it a better idea. And that's kind of like, it occupies a lot of my time down here in Florida, but that's what I've been working on. And if anybody's got any feedback, if you got any questions and need some more details, that's nice too, but I want to know the feasibility of it.
Okay. Next, Mr. Would you like to say anything else?
Who's that?
That's about it. I've been fundraising for the public schools down here since 2009. So I got examples. If anybody wants to see the examples of the fundraising we do, and how it would work, because I'm already doing it myself. So how to show somebody to do it that's on public assistance or something like that, it wouldn't be too difficult. But yeah, that's something that I'm working on. Everybody's got their little thing, and that's how the big thing operates, right? That's something that I do. That I've been doing it since 2009, so I got some strategies and stuff, and it works out pretty well for the community. Now, you're not going to save the entire community by doing it. It's not like a big splash thing, but if you get enough people doing it individually, it adds up to a big help for the school and for the public housing situation.
I have a question for you, Mr. Reed. So when you say donate a portion of your food stamp, does that you just buy a certain amount of food and donate it to the school and show them the receipt?
That it means donate the physical food. It means to donate the physical items. Not, yeah, you would donate the items. Donate the items to the school. And let's say if you donate, I'll put anything out there. If you donate 10 oranges, right? If 10 oranges counted as a work credit towards you keeping your food stamps, because I think that's what they're trying to say. In order to have food stamps, you have to have some sort of you have to work in order. There's going to be a work requirement, right? So instead of that, let's just have a donation requirement. You donate a certain amount of food, actual food, not money, because money never works out. Money doesn't. It always creates a problem. It always creates a problem. But if you donate actual food and you create like a food pantry at the school, and everybody that donates food, you put it on a ledger, those same people could get reported to by the school board and get a credit for the actual food stamps. That would be your work. That would be satisfying your work requirement.
Now, I have a question.
Okay.
I understand they closing everything down, and I love what you saying, Brother Director. Question, how, say like if I get different folk like do a dance, because what I've been thinking about, how can we do like just get a building or an old gym or find an old school, because they be selling them, right? To do like fund our own pre-K school or after school programs. You got a lot of folks in there want to give, or do shows, because if they do a show or they do a dance or they do a motorcycle ride, they give it for a cause. They don't care. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. So how can we fund our own after school programs for community? All the ones that getting shut down, because families still need to work. Families still need this. And students still need to, because they closing down one of our high schools, right?
Yeah.
Here in Augusta. Couple of, not one, but a couple of our high schools, and they trying to put everybody together, and then it's going to be a big war, because gang activity is going on. Come on now.
That's true. That's true. They're saying that the big plan is to dismantle the Federal Department of Education and shift the educational responsibility to the state, right? Now, in that, and that being done, but see, I don't know how. I know how it would go in Florida, but other states, I'm assuming other states is probably a little bit different. But in Florida, they're wide open for you to start your own early head start and pre-Ks and all that. They actually encourage it a lot. But a lot of those charter schools shut down after a while.
Yeah.
Because you have to have that financial. Everybody, when you say you want to open a charter school, right, everybody will fund you on day one. But the real thing that'll keep you in the game is if you could get those 10-year commitments and stuff like that. And that's why a lot of those charter schools, they start off, well, and then after a while they kind of run out of steam. Because even with the after-school programs too, they start off well, because when you come up with the idea, everybody's got this money saved up, and they're like, yeah, okay, let's go, da-da-da-da-da. But the thing about it is that do you have this reoccurring money? You know what I'm saying? A steady flow of money that can keep the program running. That's
right.
one of the challenges. That's down here in Florida, well, in Miami, we got something called the Children's Trust, and if you could get linked up to them, they give out they fund 5-year commitments. You know, so I guess in other states they probably got other things like that too. You know, but to try to fund it out of pocket is it's something else. You know, it's something else.
I can jump into that, State Director Reed. Thank you so much for that. But the Children's Trust that's up here in Escambia County, they're actually by the county commissioners being audited, and they're actually being hit for their money because they feel like the money is not justified on how they're giving it out to the people. So they're in hot water right now. But Mr. Freeman, State Director Freeman, you were onto something in terms of what we were trying to, State Director Brown and I was talking about was to have a strategy. And I wasn't back there when schools were segregated, you know, and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the process, it's not such a bad thing right now because of the fact we're educated. We have degrees. We have different things behind us. And yet, the more degrees we have, the more isolated we want to be. And we really don't go back and pour in and continue to educate those. If you check out the data for the funding process, like Mr. Reed, State Director Reed said, the HBCUs are losing funding because no one's sticking with the funding process. They're doing like State Director Brown said, the motions in the beginning, everybody's gung-ho, and now for the longevity of it, basically they're losing funding. But I pointed out to, again, why does it always have to be about a party? Like Tom Joyner and a few other well-known, they do a cruise for the cause of funding the HBCUs. And this is not the party time. This is really not. It's really about educating. We have a business owner of 31 years, Educating America for Prosperity. He has a strategy that is not done nowhere in educating us as African Americans about where to place your money, how to place it, and different trusts and different things like that. And he's Mr. Aldridge. He did try to educate us at Black Wall Street, but I don't know what happened with that. But we still follow him, and still he's doing a clergy summit, a free clergy summit for 3 hours to just address how to help save some of these pastors who are low funded or underfunded or whatever, so that they can go back and try to help their congregations first. But it's open to everyone, and so all you have to do is just get with me later, any state director, and I will get you his information. He can talk to you directly, or just shoot me an email, and I can send you an email. He does a presentation on Saturdays at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, and then he also does it on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. And so Vice Regional Williams, Tim and I are both a part of that, and we definitely can attest to the value of it. But there are solutions, and this is where we're strategizing, guys. We have about 10 minutes left, and this is the whole point. Everybody is saying the same thing. But in terms of what State Director Reed said, I just wanted to say, that's just, he's a one-man band in terms of doing that movement, and he's been doing it for a while. But I'm showing you how big Black Wall Street is to where it shouldn't be that no more. This is why we're coming together to strategize. And so State Director Freeman was onto something in terms of us learning what our ancestors did and how they came together and they bought. You got to secure the land. You got to secure the property. Now, my after-school program, when I opened it this April, I told the county it was just an old school that was just used for storage for the town. But I told the county I'm only going to pay $75 a month rent because he no longer wanted to lease it for $1. A church had it before I did, and they went with my bid So my rent is only $75 and it's non-grant funded, which means whether a grant start or stop, we can still open those doors and educate those young people. And that's the strategy. And so it has to be stuff that's not dependent on a government grant. And so I got my chef. She's just a well-known cook in the community. She comes and cooks them meals every day and different things like that. And so it can be done, you know. And so it's a strategy, and that's the key. That's the key word. And the emotions we do. We have to have temperance, like Vice Regional Williams said, that we have to have temperance, and we got to take the emotions out of it. And so I am definitely onto that. Now, this was a funny when I heard you say, State Director Freeman, New York is on an island. It's an island. It's an island. It's underwater. So the subway will flood, my brother. It's an island. It floats. It's just like the other end of California. And that's why I moved from California, because I didn't want it to break off into its own little island, and then I'm stuck on there. So that was just funny when you said, how can New York flood, the subway flood? Baby, it's water all up under it. And so, but that's okay. That's a good history lesson. But I'm saying to you guys, these natural disasters and all of this, it should not surprise us. It's just like back in the Holocaust days, all the different major things that went on before we got to this point. What did our people do? How did they strategize? And why are we here today? So if we're just going to complain and be about that, you know, oh, wow, shame, shame, shame club, or are we going to do what our ancestors do, pull up our sleeves and get busy? And we're going to strategize. We're not going to be in a hurry, because this didn't creep up on us. We knew it was coming. And so even those that voted for him probably regret that they did, but it's too late now. And so it's time to be about our Father's business. And as Dr. Carter would always say, stay focused. Stay focused on why we do what we do. And then each one share one. If you know of any information and you know of a strategy that can be a blessing to someone, stop being your own island and let's all work together. And so that is, and you know, like State Director Brown, I need you, whatever you telling your North Carolina people, I need you to share with us so that we can do the same thing, especially with your tax expertise and things of that nature, sir. That's stuff we don't, you know, some of us might not know. And so we need to know. There's enough wealth, even with the 6 of us on this line, and just imagine all the rest of Black Wall Street and what they know. So we have to do this, guys. I'll turn it over to you, State Director Brown.
Oh no, that's fine. I know we're short on time as we close it out. I just really echo what everyone is saying, but I will add this to it, and I thank you, State Regional Director, for saying what you said. We have to focus on being a collective group. Yes. We have to stop getting out of this mindset of crabs in the barrel. Get out of the mindset of, you know, if I'm doing this, then what am I getting out of it? That's one of the main things about being strategic. You know, getting away from the emotion side is figuring out how can we work together. I was literally on a call yesterday about a grant down in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's like a $500,000 grant. But the lady that presented it to me, I told her, I said, you cannot do this grant by yourself. You got to find some people that can work with you, that can be subs to your grant. Because when they look at your grant, they want to see that there is power in numbers, not just one person trying to manage a $500,000 grant and everything like that. So the biggest thing is find out, just like what we're doing right now, we're all on the call together. We're from different cities and states, but we're working towards one goal, and that's what's going to happen, because you all know they do everything in their power to separate us, to have us fighting against each other, because they know that we are emotional people. And if you get the emotion part in it, all it does is create separation. So, and I definitely agree with you and Pastor Deterville, is what we're doing here in Charlotte. That's why Dr. Carter reached out to me in the beginning, because he saw what we were doing here, and he wanted to find a way that we can kind of duplicate what we're doing here amongst the whole entire USA organization. And we're happy to do so because we're happy to be a part of the collective. So I will say that in terms of being strategic, removing the emotion, but we also got to learn how to work together as a collective organization, as one organization.
Well said, sir. And if you could write this name down, her name is Dr. Barbara Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T. Her website is Certified Dream Builders. Certified Dream Builders. She is our mastermind grant coach for the whole Black Wall Street and some. They don't even know it yet. But Dr. Wright has developed her own apps. She has 2 apps called Grant Builder Pro and Budget Builder Pro. And her website has about 26 ebooks in every department of whatever grant you want to write for whatever. State Director Reed can help you as well. And she goes live every Monday and Thursday morning from at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, and she is approachable. But Dr. Barbara Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T, and it's Certified Dream Builders. And basically, if you can give that to that $500,000 lady, this will help her tremendously, and she can definitely guide her. And there's a team of us that follow her faithfully, and she's a woman of color, and she's great at what she does. And so she's out of Kansas. And so, but Dr. Wright, and she has a Facebook as well, Dr. Barbara Wright. You can vet her. Everyone here can vet her, but she's legit. All right. With that said, this was an excellent call. Thank you, Ms. Lovelace, for moderating the call. You did a fabulous job. Keep Miss Wilkins, Hot Water Cornbread, keep her in our prayers, as well as she's out of Augusta. She is also our assistant, what we call assistant administrator for the Southeast region. She's been down ill, and also our state director for South Carolina. Let's keep her in our prayers. Of course, to keep the administration in prayer, Dr. Carter and everyone that's doing what they're doing, the web team, everybody, they're doing a fabulous job. And then we're going to pray for each other. We want to thank you for this call. The time is now 8:30. I'm going to say close out in prayer, and I just thank you guys all for what we're doing. Father, we just thank you for this awesome hour of prayer, this awesome hour of a meeting that all hearts and minds were on one accord. We thank you for the spirit of Black Wall Street. We thank you for our ancestors that have paved the way. And Lord, let us not let them down. You have shown us what we need to do, and that's in all things put you first. We want to thank you for the leadership. We want to thank you for keeping us coachable, and we want to thank you, God, for allowing us to be transparent, to help and work with each other, God. We want to thank you, God. You chose us before we chose ourselves, and so, God, teach us how to work together. These I say in the blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 All right, I'm going to stop.